Shalom and thank you. I want to compliment the organization, Mr. Ambassador. Thank you for your words. Every time I hear my name, I felt a bit overrated. But anyway, it's not my first time here. It's my second time. I know the council for more than a decade, and I appreciate a lot their work. And of course, I accepted this second invitation. Today, I suggest I invite you to delve into an engaging discussion about the big projects, those large-scale projects that normally we face in our days, and you have them here also in Israel, not only in Tel Aviv, also in Jerusalem, but I'm sure in some other cities, because transportation is quite important for the quality of life of people. It's one of the main indicators of the quality of life. And every time that one of those big projects is announced to the public, there are mixed feelings about it. On one hand, people, there is enthusiasm. People recognize the importance of these huge projects to their quality of life and to have better conditions for their cities. But on the other hand, of course, people are a bit frightened about and there's certain anxiety, mainly about the impact, not only during the working phase, but also in the end. And for people that are interested in heritage, I suppose are all of you in this room. This second thought of a bit of anxiety comes abroad more often. Of course, there's something that could calm our anxiety, is that the fact that these big projects normally they have very good teams working and prepared to face them and to follow these projects. But normally they have very accurate planning. So that make us feel safe, and also the announcements of the projects, more and more they are more complete, and people are more aware of we'll have to face during the next years. But every project, and I mean every project, in a certain moment of the implementation, they face something that is unforeseen or unpredictable, and those moments are very special to define the way of the next steps for the project, but also to analyze and to do an assessment of the quality of the teams and also of the quality of the framework. Later I'll talk a bit about the framework, because the framework is really very important in these processes. And the framework is what we found when we start working in a company or another organization, but we also, with our attitude, can shape a bit that framework. But now I'll have a short movie to show you one of those unexpected situations in the project. I'll talk a bit later about that project that occurs in this place that you see from the aerial view in Porto, and in the video I explain it. Okay. Let us step back in time to the beginning of this century, when we started the construction of an underground station in this place. We are in Porto City, near the main access to the northeastern region of the country, but out of the historical city center classified by UNESCO. During the initial works, while we were deviating the utilities infrastructures, the workers found a stone slab marked with the letter P. This may indicate a water well because the word for well in Portuguese is poço with a P. However, the size and shape of that stone merged with some other big stones around that made a floor, a perfect floor, may indicate that something else was hinting beneath the surface. Neither the environmental compliance report nor the geological surveys identify any underground construction in this location, just a reference to several water sources in underground mines. Therefore, the contractor, through the action of a brave woman, Engineer Maria José Santos, decided to investigate a bit more. They removed the slab and descended into the supposed well. Not too deep, they discovered the floor and the structure all around supported by stone arches. It looked like the interior of a water reservoir. However, beyond that, something else caught their attention. They realized that one of the walls had a royal coat of arms. On that moment, they rang the bells and called all the heads involved in the project. That discovery illustrates a significant change in the project's history. What initially seemed like a huge threat to the planning and cost of the station rapidly turned into a remarkable opportunity to enhance its value and contribution to the city's history. The arches were indeed part of a reservoir. However, the internal walls were part of a building that once upon a time was outdoors in the city. That building was a public water station with 2 fountains and 2 water tanks built to serve local population but mainly for travelers and their animals, just like the gas stations nowadays found on the highways. The archaeological works and investigation were led by Ivo Botelho from Metro do Porto, who worked together with contractor team, including also other archaeologists. The stonemasonry master, Mr. Umberto, and his team carefully provided this assembly and storage of the find. Since day one, the stakeholders recognized the importance of these archaeological assets. The engagement among technical teams done between the owner, Metro do Porto, and the contractor, Normetro, allowed their executive boards to take important decisions. First, instead of simply doing the archaeological record and dismantle of the find, we had to proceed with the museumization by reassembling the reconstruction within the station. The station should be adapted to receive the water arc, even if it involved build a new floor for its exhibition. The head of the project by the contractor was Pritzker winner architect Eduardo Sotomora, who assumed himself the project of the underground station. Enthusiasm was always present from the beginning among engineers, archaeologists, architects, and stonemasonry masters, collaborating closely to define how to integrate it seamlessly into the larger project of the underground station. In addition to managing the project, I involved myself in the definition of the layers to reassemble and the exhibit's layout. Also worked with Ivo Botelho, my colleague archaeologist, to synthesize the text written on the wall, which explains the several steps of constructions from the 14th century until today. Man, through his action, marked his testimony in time and knew how to give water the form and formula for mutual enrichment. On the way to Valongo and beyond, he satisfied those who arrived and left. Afterwards, once buried, he gave water and life to those who remained in Porto. Now, dry, see the look of those who confirm it in a blink of an eye and continue on a good trip. At the end of the day, and the works, people were so much involved in the project that we also decided to recover this historical garden from the beginning of the century that was also a bit abandoned and also affected by the works. Of course, when you do an underground station, it also has some impact in the surrounding area. So we came here, we studied a bit about this garden, and we decided to recover it, include it in all the urban insertion projects of the station. Okay, so thank you. Back to the presentation in the whole. This project I'll talk to you about, it was a big European endeavor by the moment. The aim was to build a transport system that crossed 7 municipalities in the Porto metropolitan area, one of the biggest investments by the time. And to roll, it was a light rail system, but also an underground system, all with the same type of fleet of vehicles, and also for long distance and train lines. And we have to build it all together, and did it in 7 years. To run this project, a company was created called, with the name of the project, Metro do Porto. It was the owner. And the role for this company was to prepare the public tender that includes doing the design, the build, including the supply of all the vehicles and the systems, and also to operate the system on the first 5 years, which was good because they have to build a good system in order to operate it properly in the first 5 years. And this company have to do this, to follow the project, and also follow all the steps as the owner, and to make the bridge to the several entities, and also to the citizens, the public. And that was quite important and a key factor for the success. Moreover, the people from the north of the country, and Mr. Ambassador certainly knows that people from Porto and from the north of the country, they are quite perceptive and quite intense. So you cannot just give them a small explanation about what you're going to do. You really have to talk them the project. You have to invite them several times to see the work fronts, to see the works, how they're going, and you also had to give them in first hand the state of art of the works and the planning. And it was quite involving this, and at the end of the day, it was their project, and so no one can say bad things about the Metro do Porto by the time. A friend of mine he did a marketing study about this almost phenomenon that happens in the region. He told me that he found Metro do Porto a bit like the Coca-Cola, because very few people dislike it. So I said, okay, so if it is like Coca-Cola, let's change the brand. Of course, we didn't do it. I just put this for fun. But looking back, and then I've been in Metro do Porto first as a project manager, then as a project office director for more than 10 years. I left and I keep my professional path with other projects. And looking back, I'll always try to analyze what were the key factors in terms of managing that project and the framework that contributed to the success. I'll go very fast through them, but I think it's important to share them with you. And I believe you will recognize that some of them are some issues that we wanted to have in our organizations. So first of them is the local political decisions. So in addition to the central government support, the governance process featured local actors who made binding decisions, ensuring accountability and commitment. So the central government didn't serve as an excuse for something goes wrong. There was a local decision, and so they have to assume that responsibility. Also, the Metro Porto has a competent, qualified team guided the project through the complex landscape, avoiding the bureaucratic pitfalls of larger organizations. I think the quality of the team that was formed by the time was quite important. I put myself out of this, but I think it really was. Then a flat organization structure. With only 4 levels of hierarchy, the communication across teams remained fluid and efficient. It was very easy when some issue came abroad to discuss it immediately and to approve him. And there was also a delegation of competence. So we are able to decide, to have prompt decisions in our meetings with several entities. We didn't have a lot of time to manage and to put this project on the place. So we really have to take these decisions. So empowering technical leads, foster a culture of prompt decision making, which in turn encourage external agencies to adopt similar cooperative approaches. It wasn't automatic, but the entities which we work with, they started to implement different, they changed their way of work in order to follow our rhythm of implementation. Also, the early and continuous involvement of citizens and organizations, that's what I told you about, that fostering understanding and support for the project. And last but not least, and I think that was a very key also issue, that we decided for implement a global, and we forced ourselves to have this discipline while we were producing the project and then in the quality of the works, to maintain the global quality standards for design, the design solutions and the quality of construction. That was really important, because it doesn't matter the place nor the resident status. So the project really can be an inclusive platform for the cities. So it's, as I say, always level up. And if you give quality to the people, they react and they respond with quality for sure. And this project proves it. So this framework that it's really important to try to create. Sometimes we found it, but other times it's important to ourselves trying to do it with a upward leadership. I'm sure during the coffee break, some of us in our talks complain about our colleagues or about our boss, that no matter who it is, in this a small company or in a big company or entity or the prime minister or the president or whatever, oh, they put someone, it's a politician, he knows nothing about the subject, it's hard to work with him. So if we know, we have to do that job for him. We have to help him. This is the upward leadership. We do our job and we help people to take the right decisions. So we are not out of that responsibility. And here in this project, that creates a climb of confidence between all the people involved. And here it was really important, because it led us to overcome the boundaries of the mission, and it add value to our job and to the project itself. I think I have a second small video to show you, and this video, I think it's a mirror of what I just said to you. Okay. As part of the Metro do Porto project, one line will traverse the iconic Lis First Bridge, an iron engineering masterpiece of the 19th century. Here, the focus was on structural rehabilitation to accommodate the metro, without detracting from historical significance and the aesthetic value or artistic value of the bridge. As such, there was no architectural project, just a direct change between modes of transport. So the metro will run on the same lanes as the road traffic was before, and pedestrians will walk in elevated sidewalks, widely enlarged to be a bit more comfortable. That was the easiest path, but somehow it adds a lazy attitude approaching the project. By doing nothing, we will waste a unique opportunity to recover the functional, aesthetic, and even patrimonial value of such assets. So even though that my role did not require me to propose such changes, I felt compelled to advocate for something new. A level deck solution where pedestrians and metro share space, lower speed when metro was crossing, and the marking of a safety area to people put themselves aside. The lighting will be in low level, and instead of road lamps, we choose garden bollards to create a light necklace effect. By the time I was project manager, so I presented my ideas to the executive board of the company, and they encouraged me to keep going with them. I also saw feedback from architect Eduardo Sotomora, because he was the head of the project from the contractor. He liked the idea, and he asked me if we both could share the project and this proposal with another architect, Álvaro Siza Vieira, because it was in charge to do the project of the São Bento underground station and the urban insertion in the surrounding area of the bridge. Álvaro Siza Vieira was more aligned in my proposal than architect Eduardo Sotomora, because he liked the solution of a 360 lighting system projected on the floor, and Eduardo Sotomora preferred a 180 degree projection on the floor. Those are sweet details to remember. From the heritage point of view, this solution did not interfere with the initial assumptions. Rather, we believe it elevates the quality of the intervention, making it less road-related. The final result did not disappoint. After it opened, pedestrians and passengers inside the metro quickly adopted this new rehabilitated route in their daily habits. Also, the scenic effect created by the lighting system reinforced the Luís I Bridge as a symbol of the region. Okay, so not everything was perfect and smooth, as you can imagine. Of course, there were some anxiety moments and huge discussions around all this, but we did a great effort, and we have the citizens on our side, which was great, and they were quite well informed. So it's really important to be aware of the assets we have in front, and to try always to integrate them, mainly the heritage assets and finds, in the projects we have. We are part of the history nowadays, and we have to remain that old past for the future generations. So that's all for us. Thank you very, very much for the invitation. Thank you for the warm welcome, and Toda Rabá. Thank you.